Very good Thursday morning to everyone out there across the Wobbles community. Landon here with you in the driver's seat to bring you your latest weather forecast, courtesy of Ohio Valley Insurance. I want to kick things off by giving a big shout out to all the third graders out at Rockfield Elementary. We had a fantastic time discussing all things weather yesterday. Big thanks to Miss Morris for the invite out there as well. I think all the kiddos are wanting to know about one question, and that's regarding the snow. I know that that's still on the top of everyone's minds, but folks, focus needs to be on tomorrow as we stripe in for what promises to be an insanely wild ride on the Kentucky weather roller coaster. So let's go ahead and let's jump right into it, shall we? Take a look over here. We have got clouds that have cleared out throughout the overnight. We have a warm front that's lifting north over the region. This is opening up the door to clearing skies out there, and that's what we're experiencing. We're going to have loads of sunshine with us throughout the day, combining with southerly winds. It's going to be relatively warm as we get into this afternoon, so get out there and soak in that vitamin D while you can, because not positive when we might get in and see that sunshine again here over the upcoming days. Getting a look over our Skycam network, we can kick things off overlooking the Beechtree News Skycam over Morgantown. Crystal clear skies over in that direction. Not too much going on. We can hop over to the Sexton Bimbitter Skycam. Take a look at twilight right now down in Gold City. So, rays of sunshine coming up. Not a cloud in the sky. We'll have a few wispy clouds here and there, folks, but overall, it should be an absolutely beautiful, albeit slightly breezy day in the great outdoors. Temperatures currently hanging out right around the mid-30s region-wide. We're going to be taking these highs all the way up to around the mid-50s this afternoon. So again, it's not going to be too bad whatsoever in that department. So now let's jump over here and let's go right into the model guidance and let's talk about what we have in store for us over the upcoming days. And folks, as I previously mentioned, it is going to be extraordinarily active. Looking at this morning, we don't have a lot going on, and throughout the day, we don't either. We have this area of high pressure located over Florida that's going to help bring in those winds out of the south and help us warm up rather nicely as we work throughout today. As we get into tonight, clouds will steadily be thickening up as our next weather maker approaches and arrives from the west. We'll be looking at scattered light rain showers by sunrise right along and west of the I-65 corridor. And then as we progress throughout the final day of the work week, as we get into lunchtime, you can get the idea of what our surface map is going to look like. Folks, this is the science behind a mid-latitude cyclone. We've got the warm conveyor belt bringing all the warm, moist air up out of the Gulf. We got a powerful cold front plowing east through the region. Cold conveyor belt is driving down and dropping onto the northwest side of the low. That's where the heaviest snowfall is anticipated over in that direction. They're anticipating a winter storm here over the next day or two for portions just to the north and west of the region, and then we're going to shift that focus closer to our region late in the weekend and on into the early days of next week. But before we get into that, folks, we need to focus on this weather maker here as we work into tomorrow, because it is going to be bringing a variety of risk here across the region. So we'll zoom in here, give you a little bit better idea. Here we are approaching midnight tonight, rolling through the pre-dawn hours, and we have the scattered light rain showers already impacting portions of the Wobbles community. As we work past sunrise, we get more and more rain chances, and then by mid-morning on throughout pretty much the remainder of the day, it becomes very intense out there, extraordinarily strong southerly winds, and although it's low on the totem pole, we've been given a marginal risk by the Storm Prediction Center for a few strong to maybe even marginally severe thunderstorms to come along with this activity as we work throughout the afternoon. So you can see some of these more isolated cells here could be packing quite the punch with a parent low located right here. And then we could see a few light snow showers and a transition changeover. But as I had previously mentioned, folks, it looks to be displaced well up to our north and west. Not too worried in that regard regarding winter weather for us in the Friday night on into the Saturday morning time frame. Now we have to discuss the first in a series of impacts that's going to be arriving here. Coming along with the widespread rain showers and some storms, folks, are going to be insanely strong winds screaming like a banshee out of the south. Here we are approaching sunrise on Friday. You can see we already got gusts exceeding 30 to 35 miles an hour. We work throughout the day, folks, and look at some of these readings that the short-term model guidance has been putting out. We're going to be looking at a wind advisory that's in place throughout the entirety of our Friday. The National Weather Service has mentioned the possibility of needing to upgrade perhaps portions of the region, including ours, to a high wind warning. So let that be noted, folks. Tie down the lawn decor, God's Frisbees, aka trampolines, also known as the Alabama State Bird. We don't want to try to get those things displaced. It's going to be very similar to what we experienced a little bit earlier this week, but wind speeds and what guidance is showing is these winds are going to be even stronger out there. So please be aware of that. We could see some sporadic power outages take hold as well, and just something to take note of. But you'll see here, folks, all the way through Friday afternoon, all the way through Friday night, we keep that wind advisory in place until we work into our Saturday, all right? So now let's shift gears. We get Friday out of the way. What does everybody want to talk about? The chances for winter weather shenanigans. We still have model disagreement out there, folks. We do have some of the models that's been taking away some of the moisture that would be available, which would lower our snow totals, if any, should that potential come to fruition. We've been talking about this all week, folks. We have very, very high confidence that extraordinarily cold temperatures are going to be in here. But with this weather maker coming through here on Friday, models still are flip-flopping somewhat on the potential for a winter storm Sunday into the early days of next week. So here we are working throughout our Sunday morning. Here we are working through our Sunday afternoon and evening. And then you can see right here where we have the arrival of some light scattered snow showers. You will note, folks, in comparison to model runs earlier this week, we had a much more robust snow band that was developing. So at the moment, we look like that we could get in on some snow showers out there. But with that being said, we are still unsure in regards to total accumulations and amounts. That remains to be seen. We really, really need to get the Friday system out of here for models to try to find a solution and come into an agreement of what exactly is going to occur. So the GFS and the Euro have been on the same page, digging that trough a little bit deeper with the surface low. Personally, for me, being a snow lover, I want that surface low to get displaced a bit more off to the north and west to bring the heavier band up in here across our vicinity. This is going to continue throughout our Monday, lasting all the way through our Tuesday morning, folks, and just look at this trough digging down of just this Arctic air infiltrating the region. We're talking about the coldest air in nearly a year and a half or two. We're talking about all the way back to around December of 2022 since we've seen temperatures this cold. Some models are still hinting at the possibility, if we get a snowpack on the ground, of some readings right at or below zero in some instances. So that's another very important thing that we need to take note of, as that could also be bringing impacts to us here across the region, all right? So jumping over here and taking a look at our latest temperature model, here we are looking and progressing into our Friday afternoon. Highs are going to be very similar to what we're seeing today, all the way up and right around the mid-50s. And then, folks, after that, the bottom is just going to drop out. We're going to be all the way down between the low and mid-20s by sunrise Saturday, rising back up to around the low to mid-30s for highs by Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday night into Monday, on into Tuesday, look at those readings, folks. It does not have us getting above freezing, at least until we work all the way up and into next Friday or even next Saturday or Sunday before we creep back up to right around the freezing mark of 32 degrees. So it's going to be frigid, folks. We're going to get the cold locked in here. Any weather makers that's able to move through, hopefully we can get some moisture and get a nice snowpack on the ground for us. Taking a look at the latest, this is an ensemble guidance that's showing us the probability of us receiving at least 1 inch of snow on the ground by lunchtime on Monday. We're at a 50-50 probability, folks. And with a little bit of the southern dig of the trough, you can see the higher probabilities have been displayed stretching from northern Arkansas all the way over into far west Tennessee. This is not written in stone, folks. We're going to see the models waffling, trying to find different solutions here over the next 48 to 72 hours. So we'll be updating you as necessary to bring you the latest in regards to the weather impacts that are going to be getting nailed down as this particular weather maker continues to evolve. As previously said, folks, we're going to jump right into our timeline, and that all starts with tomorrow. We're going to be looking at the opportunity at some strong to even marginally severe thunderstorms out there as the rain showers move through. We could be looking at severe weather with damaging winds of 58 miles an hour or greater. But folks, keep in mind the dynamics with this system. We have a wind advisory in place throughout. So even outside of the rain and storms, we could be getting 40 to 50, 55 mile an hour gusts in here that could create sporadic power outages, along with some fallen trees and things of that nature as well. Total rainfall amounts with the Friday weather maker, we're still on the cusp of anywhere between roughly 3/4 of an inch up to 1.5 inches of additional rainfall. We're still in drought conditions here across Wobbles. We can use some more rain, that is for sure. Jumping into the timeline, folks, here's the breakdown. Tomorrow, we have been given an 80 to 90% probability of seeing wind gusts at or exceeding 45 miles an hour. Please be aware of that. Again, tie down the loose trash cans, lawn decor, trampolines, all that good nature as well. Coming along with the wind threat, a marginal threat for severe weather. Isolated severe storms will be possible as this rotates through here. Damaging winds, the primary concern. That's what we're going to be watching very closely, especially during the afternoon. Also got a little bit of spin in the atmosphere. I don't think it's going to be anything to worry about, but an extraordinarily low risk of maybe a brief tornado spin up coming along with this as well. And then, of course, rolling into Sunday on into Monday of next week, here is the probabilities of us seeing at least moderate or minor impacts to travel. As far as Sunday rolling into Monday is concerned, we're right on the cusp of the 40 to 50% probability. And I do expect that to rise as we get model agreements to come into a better solution here as our weather makers continue to evolve across the region. Here's a full breakdown of your next 5-day weather forecast, folks. Lots of sunshine today. Brisk southerly winds taking highs to the mid-50s this afternoon. Widespread rain showers, wind advisory, potential high wind warning. Late Thursday night all the way through our Friday, a brief change over to some isolated snow showers Friday night, and then the cold begins to get locked in here. Mid-30s for highs underneath a mix of sun and clouds on Saturday. Clouds increasing Saturday night into Sunday morning. Scattered snow showers Sunday afternoon, becoming more robust Sunday night on into our Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And folks, we're not going to be looking at highs getting out of the mid to upper teens Monday on into Tuesday, potentially even Wednesday of next week. Also meaning any snow that we're able to get on the ground and to accumulate will be hanging around for quite a while. That'll wrap up your Thursday morning weather and night forecast brought to you by Ohio Valley Insurance. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Stay weather aware of the upcoming days with severe weather, strong wind advisories, and the opportunity at a significant winter weather maker during the early days of next week. Folks, you all have a blessed